The Hells Angels Motorcycle Club is indeed one of the most well-known motorcycle organizations in the world. Their history is indeed marked by controversy and clashes with the law, which has contributed to their reputation as troublemakers. However, it is important to note that not all members of the Hells Angels engage in illegal activities, and the organization as a whole does not condone or promote criminal behavior. Regarding their adherence to rules, the Hells Angels do have a set of guidelines that members are expected to follow. These guidelines are designed to maintain a sense of order and loyalty within the club. The rules vary from chapter to chapter, but generally include regulations about behavior, respect for other members, loyalty to the club, and adherence to the hierarchy and traditions of the organization. From their iconic vests to their unmistakable Harley-Davidson motorcycles, the Hells Angels have established themselves as a legendary and enigmatic brotherhood, but behind the scenes they abide by a strict set of rules that govern their operations and maintain their unwavering reputation. In this captivating journey, we'll uncover the core rules that every Hells Angel must live by, rules that extend far beyond loyalty and brotherhood. We'll delve into the secret world of this notorious club and reveal the consequences that await those who dare to challenge or break these sacred codes. So whether you're a dedicated biker, an admirer of their distinct lifestyle, or simply curious about the inner workings of one of the most notorious motorcycle clubs in the world, this is the ultimate expose you won't want to miss. Don't ask to join. It's worth noting that the Hells Angels are a tightly knit group with a strong internal structure. Violations of their code of conduct can result in disciplinary actions, including expulsion from the club. This level of enforcement helps maintain a certain level of order and discipline within the organization. The typical way to become a member of the Hells Angels is through personal connections and building relationships with existing members. Prospective candidates may be invited to attend private events called hangouts, where they can meet and interact with club members. These events provide an opportunity for both current members and prospects to evaluate each other and determine if there is a mutual fit. It is important to note that the Hells Angels, like many other motorcycle clubs, have a rigorous vetting process for potential members. This process involves getting to know the individual, assessing their character, and evaluating whether they'd be a good addition to the club. The specific criteria for acceptance can vary between chapters and depend on the club's values, traditions, and requirements. It's worth mentioning that the Hells Angels, like other motorcycle clubs, have a closed membership policy. They are selective about who they admit into their ranks, and not everyone who expresses interest will be granted membership. The club values loyalty, trust, and commitment, and they're cautious about admitting new members to protect the integrity and reputation of the organization. Only wear official Hells Angels merchandise. It's important to understand that wearing Hells Angels merchandise, particularly their sacred vests, without being a member is generally frowned upon by the club and its members. The Hells Angels place a strong emphasis on the significance and symbolism of their official merchandise, and they expect their members to exclusively wear and represent the authentic and officially sanctioned items. Wearing unauthorized or counterfeit Hells Angels merchandise can be seen as disrespectful and can lead to negative consequences. Hells Angels members take pride in their affiliation with the club, and they may view non-members wearing their merchandise as a form of disrespect, impersonation, or a violation of their exclusive identity. While it may be tempting to wear Hells Angels gear for fashion or costume purposes, it is advisable to exercise caution and respect the club's customs and traditions. Inappropriate use of their symbols and insignia can potentially lead to confrontations or repercussions, as the Hells Angels are known for defending their image and protecting their brand. It's always best to respect the rules and boundaries established by any organization or group, and in the case of the Hells Angels, it is particularly important to avoid wearing their official merchandise unless you are a bona fide member. Members can't be cops. It's often mentioned that individuals who hold or have held positions as police officers or prison guards are generally not accepted as members of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club. The club has strict criteria for membership, and certain professions, such as law enforcement, are typically viewed as incompatible with their values and activities. The Hells Angels prioritize loyalty, trust, and a commitment to their club and brotherhood. Individuals who have served as law enforcement officers may be seen as having conflicting allegiances or potential conflicts of interest, which can jeopardize the club's operations and members' safety. Additionally, the Hells Angels have a strong code of conduct and ethics, and certain criminal activities such as child molestation and rape are strictly forbidden. Individuals with such backgrounds or convictions would generally be prohibited from joining the club due to the moral and legal implications associated with these offences. Only ride a Harley. It is true that the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club has a long-standing tradition of exclusively riding Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Since their formation, the Hells Angels have developed a strong association with the Harley-Davidson brand, and this preference for Harleys has become a defining characteristic of their club. Hells Angels members often view their choice of motorcycles as an essential part of their identity and sense of brotherhood. Riding Harley-Davidsons is seen as a symbol of loyalty, solidarity, and adherence to the club's traditions. As a result, members are expected to ride and display unwavering loyalty to the Harley-Davidson brand. While individual chapters may have some flexibility in their preferences, deviating from the use of Harley-Davidson motorcycles can be seen as a violation of the club's standards and traditions. Members who choose to ride other motorcycle brands may face disapproval or reprimand from their fellow Hells Angels. Once you're in for life. Joining the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club is often considered a lifelong commitment. Once an individual becomes a member of the club, it is generally expected that they'll remain dedicated and loyal to the organization for the rest of their life. The Hells Angels value brotherhood, loyalty, and commitment, and they place great importance on members upholding these principles. Leaving the Hells Angels voluntarily is not a common occurrence, and it is generally discouraged. The club fosters a strong sense of unity and brotherhood among its members, and departing from the organization may be viewed as a betrayal or disloyalty. However, it is important to note that members can be expelled or forced out of the club if they go against the rules or engage in behavior deemed unacceptable by the club's standards. Violations of the club's code of conduct, criminal activities, or engaging in actions that bring disrepute to the organization can result in expulsion. Members always ride in formation. The Hells Angels, like many motorcycle clubs, often enjoy riding together in groups. Riding as a group provides a sense of camaraderie, solidarity, and a shared experience among the members. While the exact riding formations and positions can vary between chapters and regions, there are some general guidelines followed by the Hells Angels during their rides. Traditionally, the leader of the chapter or the president takes the lead position in the riding formation. The vice president usually follows the leader, while the road captain and sergeant-at-arms take subsequent positions in the procession. These positions are typically considered important for maintaining order, communication, and ensuring the safety of the group. After these designated positions, the riding formation may become less structured, and the remaining members often ride in a more flexible arrangement. The specific order and positions may vary depending on the circumstances, preferences, and traditions of each chapter. The overall goal is to maintain a cohesive and organized group while allowing for some flexibility and individuality within the ride. Don't talk to the press. The Hells Angels Motorcycle Club is known for its secretive nature and reluctance to engage with the press or share information about the club's internal affairs with the public. Members of the Hells Angels adhere to a strict code of silence and maintain a closed circle, refraining from discussing club activities or disclosing sensitive information to outsiders. The club's aversion to media interactions is largely driven by a desire to protect their image, privacy, and the well-being of their members. By keeping a low profile and limiting interactions with the press, the Hells Angels aim to maintain control over their narrative and prevent potentially damaging information from being misinterpreted or sensationalized in the media. Furthermore, the club's secretive nature is also rooted in their historical clashes with law enforcement and the legal system. They are cautious about providing information that could be used against them in criminal investigations or legal proceedings. It's worth noting that this tendency to avoid media attention is not unique to the Hells Angels, as many outlaw motorcycle clubs prioritize maintaining a closed and private organization. They prefer to operate within their own circles, away from public scrutiny and media intrusion. Rule breaking carries consequences. Within the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, it is understood that breaking the club's rules can result in serious consequences. The severity of these consequences depends on the specific rule that was violated and the extent of the violation. While the exact disciplinary measures taken by the club may vary, there have been instances where members who have significantly violated club rules faced severe repercussions. These consequences can range from being expelled from the club to physical punishment such as having tattoos burned off. Rule breakers may also face a loss of social connections and be cut off from any further contact or association with other club members. The Hells Angels value loyalty, respect, and adherence to their established code of conduct. Violating these principles undermines the integrity of the club and may be viewed as a betrayal of the brotherhood. Therefore, the club takes rule-breaking seriously and enforces discipline to maintain order and protect the club's reputation. It's important to note that specific disciplinary actions may be determined by the local chapters of the Hells Angels, as they have autonomy in enforcing their own rules and regulations. However, the overall message is clear: rule-breaking within the club carries significant consequences. Well, that's all for today's video. If you found this video informative, please consider liking and subscribing to our YouTube channel for more thought-provoking content. Don't forget to leave your comment and suggestions down below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.